Hi friends, I think you should join a union, and I'm going to explain why, and a little bit how. I had a union meeting tonight. I've spoken a little bit on the channel, but I keep growing, so I'm a member of a union in the UK called Acorn. As I understand it, Acorn actually started in America, and we've just sort of imported it over here. But it's not the same in America anymore. The British one's the one I know. And we had a meeting this evening, which we have like once a month, to do planning, do catch up, to meet with other members, and it's so good. And so I'm here to convince you to join a union. Now, this union in particular is one that I have a lot of love for. I have got involved quite a lot in some of their cases, and it's a community union, which means that it's slightly different from like a trade union, although if you're in a trade and your trade has a union, join the trade union. Community union mostly focuses on like community matters, which particularly in my city, and frankly across the country, is a lot about housing and renting and landlords and evictions and bailiffs and the troubles that come from the fact that a lot of housing is treated like assets rather than homes. And we fight back as people, with no particular power except that we are together. Which is kind of point one, which is if you're in a union, you have people to fight with, and that really does get stuff done. It's kind of incredible to see the change that happens when, like, it's a lot of people, but it's also not as many as you'd think. Like, we get a lot of change done with like double digits number of people, because we're working together and we've got experience and solidarity and direction. And it really gets shit done. So the first reason is if you want change, unions do it. The second one is it gives you quite a bit of hope because you do see stuff happen. And this is why I like my union more than I like other organizations, is the union does stuff. Like, actively does stuff. If you are in the UK, if you're not in the UK even, you can go look up Acorn, and they publish the kind of things that they do, and it's really impressive. Recently, a lot of the tactics has been like landlord conventions or like conventions for landlord adjacent stuff. Just sort of show up and a bunch of us come in and disrupt it, and they can't do shit because it's full of us. And we take the mic, and I've had the police called on me a few times, but we're not doing anything illegal. We never do anything illegal. We are a non-violent union, but we're disruptive as fuck, and that's great. Which that's kind of the real root point. I'm not going to number all of these. I'm sort of just improving this. That if you've ever had that feeling, which I think we all have, especially like leftists have, of, God, I wish, when are we going to actually take action? When are we going to start this revolution? Like, the unions are probably there. Like, they're the ones planning actions. And every action that we take is training, is calisthenics, is practice for when the big one comes, that's not like the stated goal. I think ideally we'd all like to avoid the bad times, but like they're coming, so does it hurt to have some practice standing up to authority? I don't think so. We were asked in the meeting why we joined and why we stayed, and the reason I've stayed is that I'm scared. I've covered this a few times, but like I'm one of these. In the UK, again, there's worse places, but fuck me, are there better ones. And the times that I'm the least scared, the times where the fear is completely gone from me, is when I'm doing member defense, which is part of the union. When our members are in trouble, if they're being evicted, if they're struggling with their landlords, we go in and we do active stuff. We resist evictions. We demand action from landlords. Like we go up to the landlords and we interrupt their work and we say, you have to do this thing because it's your fucking obligation to do it. And we will keep disrupting you till you fix it. And that stuff's incredibly scary. That stuff is terrifying. That means standing linked arms in arms as a bailiff, which is like a private cop, is trying to get through to evict one of your comrades. And I don't feel scared. I feel safe. And I feel like I have a community. And I feel like any danger I might be in is worth it in a way that, like, the danger of just living as me, it is worth it because I need to be me, but like that danger's shit. It could just not be there. This is like, there's authority to stand up to, and I'm not alone. And I think it's, if you made it this far, I assume you're reasonably convinced, or you just like the sound of my voice. Joining a union, if you're in the UK, look up Acorn. We're not everywhere, but we're in a lot of places. And joining that union is valuable. You start by paying your dues, which are for Acorn like equivalent to an hour's wage. I forget what our numbers are, but it's, you put a bit of money in, and you put a bit of money in. I put a bit of money in because I want Acorn to keep existing. Like, I would be so much more sad if Acorn went away than like Netflix. So that's where I put my money. If you have a trade, join a trade union. Finding a union near you can be hard, but the trick is to look it up and to join the one that you can find. I don't know how it's going to work in other countries, but it's worth it to join a union. It is probably one of the best ways you can spend your money, and definitely one of the best ways you can spend your time and energy. People working together is what makes change. Direct action makes change. Unions, beyond an organizational level, because here's the thing, I'm aware that there's kind of problems with the sort of syndicalists, everything should go through the union, bureaucratic. When I say union, what matters to me is a group of people who have a similar goal and who work together to achieve it through direct action. And for that reason, you don't need to join a union that's like, I don't know, the trade union or Acorn. Or if you can find a group of people with a similar goal who will work together to achieve it through direct action, that's a union. Get in on that. and make the world better. I believe in you, friends. I I think the word community is a bit overused for internet parasocials, but like, if I can make you my union, fuck, what if the comment section unionizes? I stand with them. I love you very much, friends. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.